Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I almost said Stash and Beard Show. I haven't done that show in years. What is happening? It's Chit Chat and Chapters. I'm Austin, she's Lauren. What is happening to me?
There's no stash. There's no beard. We got nothing going on here, man.
Okay, quick backstory. Stash and Beard Show was a show that I did with Alan Pilley down in Florida. And I just wanted to do a podcast. He and I were friends from the gym. He's a lifting buddy of mine. And super cool dude. Super awesome guy. Super fun. Very different podcast.
I can only imagine.
So, a lot more swearing. We did like a moonshine taste test once, and then I called my boss after. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
I mean, I'm down for moonshine tasting. Sounds great.
I
just
10 out of 10.
I just got back from Tennessee. We went to a whiskey distillery.
Ooh,
That was a good time.
nice. When Liz and I first moved down to Florida, on the way down, we saw the Jack Daniel's distillery.
Yeah.
And so we took a tour, and it was great. Great time.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, back to the podcast that's actually happening, Chit Chat and Chapters. Did I introduce us? I'm Austin, you're Lauren.
Yes.
What?
Still, actually.
Well, thank goodness. Glad someone's on track here. This is a book about a couple of people who like to read books, and
It's a book about people that like to read books.
it's a book about...
We're doing so good.
We're knocking the rust off. Here, let me just... Okay, all right.
Refreshed. Ready?
This is a podcast, in case you didn't know. This is a podcast, in video format from time to time, if you watch it on YouTube, that is about two people who love reading books.
Congratulations, you made it.
Lauren, what have you read since the last time that we spoke? Because it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but actually, I think you may have read more books than me that we have gotten done. Because I have only finished 2 books.
Oh.
I had some family things came up, and so reading was not as big of a priority. But I finished Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. It's the 3rd in the Rome, Kentucky series that I've been borrowing from the library that I'm pretty sure I've talked about on here. They're just cute, sweet romances. They're so fun. This is like a workplace rivalry to lovers kind of thing. And the main guy like moved away to go get married and then comes back because he's no longer engaged, and they're both kind of like, there's this pull here, but we don't really understand it because we don't like each other, but then there is a little bit more than that. And it was very, very cute. This whole series has been so much fun because every book has really been done in a way that like is interconnected, and so I love that interconnectedness. AirPods. But like they're so connected, but the characters really stand on their own too. They're not really supported by the other characters, which I think is really fun. So I have one more book in that series that I'm waiting for the library hold to come through on, and then I'll be done. And it's just a 4-book series, and it's super cute. Very, very loving the small town vibes. And then I also finished, though, a little Lynn Painter, Fake Skating.
Hey, okay.
Yep, this is a YA. But it reads older than I think better than the movies did.
Really?
Yeah. And so like I don't know if she's just I mean like it's the same. No, they're still seniors.
Okay.
So like this is still very much the same age range, but it just felt a little older.
Okay. Is it?
And I don't know if maybe it's because
like have they graduated? No, they're seniors.
Yeah, they're just seniors. Yeah. And so I don't know if maybe I kind of wonder if it's not because like so I love Liz and Wes, don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But I think sometimes when you have characters that are a little bit more quirky, they can read a little bit younger. than when you have sometimes like the hot, like, cause, and fake skating, it's like the hot shot and the quiet girl. Well, you get a lot more opportunities for them to have more real moments that I think can feel a lot more like adult-esque
Yeah.
than when you're writing these quirky, fun characters can come across a lot more juvenile, I think is
Yeah.
the difference. Because
I
it's
think
just,
that-
it's very small. It's not massive. There's not a massive difference by any means. It's very small, but it is there.
Interesting. Interesting. I like that insight. I think I totally understand what you're saying there. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, what about you? What all have you wrapped up?
I was just going through my Goodreads, and I have wrapped up a lot.
What haven't you wrapped up, man?
At this point, I'm fully wrapped, brother.
Yeah.
So where do I begin? Okay. So finished a nonfiction, The Creative Act, A Way of Being, which was a look into how do creative people be creative, and how do we create a space to do that sort of thing, and like and really broke it down and with a lot of really fun little quips and that sort of stuff. I thought it was really good. If you ever have like, if anyone out there is like wanting to be creative or is struggling with that sort of thing, highly recommend. Rick Rubin has a super like perfect voice for narrating.
Oh yeah.
And so he wrote it, he read it, and it's a very zen, like, it's a book full of just like thoughts that are like maybe 3 minutes long, and then he hits like one of those it's one of the glass bowls with a pestle that you go around.
Like not a gong, but like a
Yes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen one all over the place. So highly recommend that one. Then I finished up Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Heck yeah. Okay.
Long book, surprisingly long
Yeah.
book. But thanks to Kelly talking about how he's listened to a bunch of these classics, I jumped into it, and wow, it's so good. Like,
Okay, so I'm gonna just have to start reading some classics. Is what I'm hearing between you and Kelly. Like I'm gonna have to dive in.
there's a reason why they are classics. And if you find one with a really good narrator, like this one had a male and a female narrator, and they did really good accents. So like Dr. Van Helsing is Dutch, and so like the it was just so good. It was so good. And it's all written from journals is the idea. Like it's journal entries. And these people
I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And so like their whole thing is that they are writing these journals for posterity's sake, because Dr. Van Helsing says if you don't write everything down, you might forget something. And so, it still reads as like a he said, she said kind of thing. There's still
Right.
plenty of conversation, but it still has a lot of like, I think maybe this and possibly this, and like it's really good, really good.
Huh. Okay.
Then I finished Daisy Jones and the Six.
Yes. This
Yeah.
was. I didn't know you were reading that. Did you listen to it?
I listened to it.
Oh, the cast narration.
So good.
Oh, it's. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. Daisy Jones and the Six is so good.
Easy
so good.
5-star. Easy 5-star
Yeah.
read.
Yeah.
And it just like, and how the audiobook is put together just like an audio documentary, like with all the interviews woven in, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a work of art. It absolutely
Yeah.
is, with an incredible story.
I genuinely believe everything she writes is such a unique, wonderful, beautiful piece of art. Like, oh, so good. So good.
Liz had me read the first chapter of Kristen Hanna's The Women, because Liz, like, she was reading this and she goes, do you ever just read something and go, yeah, this person knows how to write? Like, they're...
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah! Daisy Jones, or like...
Yep.
Taylor Jenkins Reid, Kristen Hanna,
Yep.
they just know how to put words together right.
That's how I felt with Where the Crawdads Sing. That was the
Yeah.
first book that I remember being like, I don't care what the story is. The way it's written is just gorgeous. It's art.
Yeah. And
They know how to write.
which is crazy because there are plenty of books that I've read that are enjoyable, are good, are totally fine, passable reads, but there are some that are just so much like that step above. And I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid hits that.
Yep.
You know who I don't think hits that? Rebecca Yarros. I don't put
Yeah.
the Empyrean series in that same great series. Really, really good.
I would also say Sarah J. Maas.
Ooh.
She
It's
knows
been
how
a
to
while.
tell she knows how to tell a story.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily categorize her as
This
writing
this
art.
flawless. Ooh, I think you might be right.
Because it's the same thing as when everybody jokes that Farrah's constantly puking. You know, like
Yeah.
there are moments in that just get a little choppy where like Taylor Jenkins Reid does not write a bad word. Every word is intentional. There is not an and, but, or they that is not intentional in that book. Where Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros tell beautiful stories, but they don't. The writing is different.
Yep. Yep. You're spot on. You're exactly correct. Yeah. Man, I feel like there's a segment there where we can find more of these and like put them in like their own category. Because not always the books aren't always 5 stars, but like
No.
well, they might be. Well, they might be. All right, we
I was gonna say, well, we'll workshop the segment
We'll
because
workshop
that they might end up being.
But speaking of Rebecca Yarros, I did finish Onyx Storm. I finished it last night.
Yes, Austin, that
know.
book.
I know. Incredible. You laid it out perfectly when you talked about it, when I was talking about getting into reading it. The first half is a lot of who's this, what's going on, I don't really understand. And honestly, and you and I are going to do a dual POV on it, so we're going to really
Yep.
dive deep into it. But the
Yep.
thing that really bothered me is the fact that it didn't feel like the beginning of the book had any. It felt like the consequences didn't make sense. Like
Totally.
who's in charge doesn't make sense because then they throw all that out for the second half of the book. And
Yep.
so like it just
The only justification I can kind of come up with for it is that after the events of book 2, they're kind of floundering and they're kind of grasping at straws. And that's why you get a lot more of that, like, what's going on, who's in charge.
people are grabbing
And
for
then, of course,
power.
something bad happens. And then they're like, nope, that shit's out the door. This is more important. And I think that's kind of what we're getting at. But I'm really going to need some of those loose ends tied up in book 4. Because there's a lot that I'm like, okay, with as long as it's a precursor to more. If that's all we get of it, then I'm like, that feels like I read 300 pages of throwaway.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Which maybe it is. It's entirely
Yeah.
possible. Based on how the series
Yep.
is going, it like why would they return to Basgiath?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that feels very much like a just fantasy trope that we have to check this box that because that's home base, even though there
Yeah.
is no home base anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Why?
Aredia? I don't know how to pronounce it. Like
Erasure?
Eratia. Thanks.
You read those books with your eyeballs.
Yeah, I did. Absolutely, I did. 100%. There are so many things I have no idea how to pronounce in those books, and it's wonderful. It's totally fine.
Oh man.
But yeah, really good. I gave it 4.5 stars. I gave it 4 stars. Really,
That's fair.
I think it's really good. I honestly don't like the ending. I'm not gonna spoil the ending here. We'll get into that on Dual POV. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. All right. I've got two more that I knocked out 5 books in our.
Good for
Yeah, how about
you.
that? I've been driving a lot.
That's fair.
So I read 2 romances, and Tessa Bailey's Fangirl Down, which is the first of the Big Shot series.
I have
Okay.
wanted to read Tessa Bailey. She's been on my radar for so long.
Okay. My sister has read all of them, and she warned me of a thing, and I totally get it. These are the fastest romances on the planet. They go from I've never met you or I have no idea, like, don't know anything about you, to getting married in a week. Like, it's fast.
Because they're fairly spicy, aren't they? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought, that they are more kind of they're more spice
fun.
books than romance books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one spicy scene that I was unprepared for. That, like, truly unprepared for. And, like, we can cut this if we think it's too much. Do you know what a rusty trombone is?
I don't want to. I'm scared.
It's just too much. But listen, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can Urban Dictionary that, and
Great. Thanks.
yeah, you will. Yeah, to any of our listeners, you can find that on Urban Dictionary, and it's gross. But
Great. So okay, so yeah.
the part that sucks about all this is that they're good sex scenes. Like, they're hot.
She knows how to write them at least.
Oh man.
At least she knows how to write them. So what'd you rate it?
I gave it. Let me double check what I wrote or what I rated it at. I gave it 4 stars. But
Wow. Okay.
But it's 3.75 rounded up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because, like, the story's fine. The story's, like, pretty good,
Yeah.
I think. About a golfer who is trying to get back on the tour and help his number 1 fan. Like, story's great. I think it's pretty good. But the fact that everything happened so quickly and these scenes are a lot. So
Have I told you my nothing book theory?
no, tell me.
I was saying, I don't think I've talked about it on here. For me, those types of books, at least from like what you're describing, I call them nothing books. And I feel bad because I feel like there needs to be a better term. But basically, they're a book that I really enjoyed in the moment. But as soon as I start my next book, I'm not going to remember anything about it. They can be a fun little goofy time while I'm reading the whole book. Wow, this is such a fun little read. And it usually ends up getting between like a 2.5 to 3.5 star rating. Somewhere in that 3 range because it's just a book. It's really cute and I enjoyed it while I was reading it. But then from there I'm like, okay, I will never, by the end of the year, this book will mean nothing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that feels pretty accurate. Except for the extent of the spicy scenes.
Well, yes.
That will stick with me for a long time. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This is not the podcast for it, but when this segment is over, I'm going to tell you the funniest quote from that book.
Great.
I guess
What are you currently reading?
Okay, sorry. I got one more. I don't.
Okay.
Thank You for Listening by Julia Wellen is the last one that I read. It's 4.5 stars, rounded up to 5 on Goodreads. It is about an audiobook narrator who who doesn't do romance, but is doing one last romance book because the person that like got her into narrating passed away. Like, she was the author of these.
Did you listen to this one?
Yes.
Because it's the one it's another one that kind of does a little just enough of the immersive thing where it's like on the radio, whatever. Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. Love the story. It hit a little too close to home for me because like the main character is someone who tried to be an actor and then had an accident and had that ripped away from them. And then, like, there are moments where she's, like, getting hope to go back into acting. And so, like, there's a little bit of Austin being like, well, I'm not in radio anymore. That was my big dream, was to have my own show and do all this sort of stuff. And then, you know, that went away, and now I'm doing something else, and I'm happy with what I'm doing. But, like, you know, there's that, it hits on a lot of really emotional things. And it has a grandmother who is dealing with dementia, and, like, that's super emotional. Gosh, it's such a good book. Thank you for listening by Julia Wellen. It'll make you cry. It's so good.
Yep. Adding it to the list. Adding it to the never-ending list. Oh,
and
love that.
That one is a fade to black. That one is a fade to black. It's so good. 10 out of 10. It really
love
is.
It.
Yeah. Okay, what I'm reading now. Now that that's all out of the way. My next audiobook that is coming in, because I'm waiting on it for Libby, is The Dark Horse, which is the next book in the Longmire series. Yep.
Nice.
And then
what number is that?
That is number 4. Yep, nice. Number 4. So I'm excited for that one. And I am currently reading the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series.
Nice.
Doomsday Scenario.
Nice.
I'm 3 chapters in, and I'm so in love with this book. Like, it's so freaking good.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that.
I'm crushing this, man. Like, and I'm already looking to buy the next one. Like, I'm officially, like, this is a series I'm buying, and I'm reading as fast as I can.
Yep. Amazing. Oh, yes.
What are you reading?
Love that. I'm actually only in the middle of one right now.
Okay.
Just because, partly since I was gone for so long, I really only had my Kindle as options, and so, like, I was only just kind of doing one at a time. But I am finally reading Quicksilver.
Nice. How's it going?
It's fantastic. So, like, I am pretty decently. I'm, like, getting towards the end of it.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, everybody is comparing it so heavily to Fourth Wing, ACOTAR, you know, as one of those kind of, like, god-tier romantasy series.
Yeah.
And I would put it right below that. I think it's still going to get a 5-star from me. But I'm like, I think my Kindle said that I'm like technically 60% done with it, but I'm on like 419 of like 600-ish. And it's kind of slow.
Oh,
there's a lot of it that I'm like, I feel like I could tell you what's happened so far in like 3 sentences, and we've read 400 pages.
Yeah.
And so, like, but we are, like, really butting up against, I think, where it's really going to pick up in those last 200, which I think will really make a difference as to, because I'm big on letting a story play out. I don't need my books to be thriller from page 1 to page 600 in a book like this, because I know that the payoff can be really worth it. And that's going to be the deciding factor, is in these 200 pages, is it worth it? Is the payoff worth it?
Have we had at least a lot of character development?
Yes. Oh, like, yes.
So much. You know, because these characters in and out.
It's one of them that it's fated mates. It's a human that gets thrown into the Fae realm, and so like, and this actually has like all types of Fae, not just like high Fae that are basically people and that are whatever. It also has like fairies that are mean, and it has sprites that help, and it has like all of the mythical creatures that actually like build up the whole world, which I think is really something that ACOTAR misses, to be honest. But it's also just different realm and whatever. But the main character has had so much development already that like I'm thrilled. There's a couple things that like going into it knowing it's fated mates, there's a couple things that you pick up on that you're like, that's what that is. That's what that is. And it's great to see those moments. Because like the part I got to, she just now realizes that if she talks in her head directly to him, he can hear her and talk back, and that whole, you know, the fated mates link of we can communicate, but we don't have to open our mouth. And she just realized that, and it's so good. Like, it's a slow burn, definitely, because it is far more enemies to lovers type feeling.
Yeah.
But the war side that's going on, as it does in these books, is really important, and you're starting to figure out and piece all these things together. And there's still enough of a tie-in to the human realm to keep it interesting, because I think sometimes with fantasy, if you lose that connection, then I'm kind of like, well, you just left the home you were at for like 18 years. Why? That was really quick, where she's still, I'm gonna get back, and she doesn't realize that they're fated mates. And there's a whole lot that, like, the character driven stuff is really good. And especially with Kingfisher, who's like supposed to be this like dark shadow daddy type vibe. He very much is like learning how, like, you're learning how soft he is, and how it's the protector shadow daddy, not the like scary one, and like all those things. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It'll really depend on these last 200 pages whether or not it full god tier or just a solid 5-star.
Nice. Well, fantastic. I'm glad you're liking it so far.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, we have more podcasts to get to, so let's get to it. We've got our summer reads coming up right around the corner.
Welcome back. We are here. We're going to be ranking some summer reads. The weather's getting warmer. The sun is shining in a warmer capacity. Yep, sticking with that one. And that means that, like, instantly I'm like, give me an umbrella drink, give me some little sunnies, sit me on a beach, set me by the water, on my deck, anywhere. I want to be outside, and I want a fun book in my hand.
ABC,
So
always be coconutting.
yes, amazing. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's, yep. Amazing.
Oh.
But because of the sun, I figured Austin and I are going to go through and do our top 3 summer reads. Now, this does not mean they have to be set in summer necessarily. All of mine are. But it just means, when you're sitting with a little coconut in your hand and you're out in the sun, what do you want to be reading? What should the vibes feel like? So,
Absolutely.
with that, Austin, I'll let you go first.
Okay. The first one that I think is a perfect summer read is Janet Ivanovich, One for the Money.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's mystery, it's crime, it's a love triangle. It's got it all, man. One for the Money has some incredible character work. It's so funny. It's so lighthearted. Like, you're not going to be sitting by the pool crying into your drink with this book. Okay?
No. Mm-mm. And there's something about, like, a slightly beat down car playing really loud music with the windows down that just, like, yep, that hits.
Yes, 100%. So my first choice, One for the Money by Janet Ivanovich. Get it on the summer reading list.
Oh, absolutely. That one's that's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like mine are going to be super stereotypical, and yours are going to be like complete sleeper picks that I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. I can just already tell that's how that's going to go.
I just also don't have as deep of a roster as you. That's fair. You read 100 books last year. In my adult reading journey, I just hit 110. Okay, so like
that's fair. That's okay. That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah,
but okay. So for my first one, it is actually the 3rd book in an interconnected series. But I will say the interconnected is fairly spread out on this one. It's not quite as like tight knit interconnected as I think some are. And it is Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. This is such a fun, like.
Nope, it's not on my
the
shelf.
idea is that you have it.
I thought it was on my shelf. It's on my other shelf downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. Either way, fantastic. Yeah. So basically, it is Emma and Justin are cursed to be the one before the one, and so they're the ones that you. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna go on 4 dates. That's kind of the timeline. They like figure out, we have to have 1 kiss. We have to talk every day. After the 4th date, like, that's it. We're done. That'll break the curse, and then we can go on and find our people. And it's like it takes place at a beach house in Minnesota, and like on like, or I guess not beach, but like lake house, like on an island lake house in Minnesota. So there's tons of lakes and beaches and like swimming. And it's so fun. And, like, This is also one of her books that I would say is a little less deep. She tends to write really emotional things too. And this
Mhm.
has a lot of it, don't get me wrong. But it's just enough lighthearted that, again, you're not going to be crying into your cocktail by the pool, you know? Like, and it's so funny. And Abby Jimenez knows how to write a funny mailman character so well that, like, yep, this is your quintessential summer book.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. And the cover is so
Oh,
summer.
yeah, and it has a little puppy. I mean, come on.
That's right.
Obviously.
Obviously, 100%. Duh. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, my second one is a baseball book, and it is called The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbach. And it's not like super romancy necessarily, but what it is about a kid named Henry who gets the yips. He is this.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep. So he a routine throw goes way off course, and after that, and like hurts a friend of his. Like he throws one
Mm-hmm.
into the dugout and hits someone in the head, and all of a sudden he's got the yips, can't throw at all, and so he
Yeah.
goes through self doubt. It's a friendship story. There is a little bit of romance that it's fine. It's not
Yeah.
really, but it's
The
this
subplot is there.
inspirational. Yeah, but it's this inspirational story about this team doing so well, even though their best player isn't able to do what he once was able to do, and then him trying to figure it out and try and get back into the swing of things. And it's just so good. Like this one is a little more like emotional, but it's the inspirational part, and I feel like
Yeah.
a very like important part of summer is like I think of like Remember the Titans as like a summer
Yeah.
movie. Like Rocky is a summer movie to me. Like a lot of sports movies. I mean, you can count. Who knows how many baseball movies there are? But all
Oh,
those are
yeah.
summer movies. And so
Yep.
this fits that vibe of a summer book where it's like it's inspirational. It's someone working hard to get back into this thing that they love. Um, yeah, it's a
And it's
great
baseball. Baseball's a summer sport.
baseball summer sport. Baseball summer sport. Case in point.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that though. And like you said, like I love like a there's something about summer that makes everybody feel so good that then you get that like motivational energy flowing through things too. Love
Yeah.
that. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. Okay. What's
Oh,
your second?
okay. For my second one, I have One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serrell. And she actually just came out with a new one that I'm really excited to get to.
Ooh.
But it actually has a little bit of like magical realism. So basically, the main character's mom dies, and she has to go on this trip by herself that was meant to be her and her mom's big trip,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And she gets to this town only to meet somebody who appears to be very much like her mom when her mom was the main character's age, a younger version.
Oh.
And so, like, it's basically her getting to grieve the loss of her mom with her mom.
That's
And
awesome.
it takes place on the Amalfi Coast, so it's very like coastal vibes,
Hmm.
but it's also not the sad type of like grief. It's this very like real personal like processing grief, but it's like it's just so heartwarming. It's such a nice hug of this like beach town of kind of weird oddities because there is a lot of the magical realism. She'll go to a place and then it won't be there because she'll be like in that weird in between.
Yeah.
And like, but yet she gets to like experience her mom when she was her age. And that's really like, it was so special. This was an absolute 5-star read for me that was like, I will never forget that book. It was so good.
That's awesome. I really like that. And that's a nice
Yeah.
little change of pace for a summer read that's not just all ooh summer fling romance.
Right.
Like there's something to having a book that is a warm hug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot. Okay, ready for my last one?
Yep.
Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Marr. Yeah. Listen, this book is such a cutesy fantasy romance. And I think the reason why I love it so much, especially as like a lighthearted summer read, is because Evie, the main character, Evie Sage, is just the most bubbly summer person.
Yeah.
That really is what brings it home for me. And I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but like Fangirl Down, that book, the main female character in that one is also a super bubbly, super flirty person. And there's something about, like, I say this with all due respect, a dumb hot person who is just a little bit dumb, super hot, super flirty, like Dan Soder.
Have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
It's the oh honey.
Yes.
It's oh honey character.
Yes. 100%. Dan Soder tells this joke, has this whole bit about like, I want to be dumb hot, where like I can say things like, I just want to go dance in the rain and have people go, wow, you're a free spirit. Whereas if you're ugly and say I want to go dance in the rain, they go, get out of here. You will smell like dog. Get out, Uggo. Like,
That's amazing.
I want to be
so
dumb
funny.
hot. Like, Evie Sage, even though she like is good at her job and all this sort of stuff, just comes across as dumb hot. She makes some mistakes. She's super flirty. And you can't help but love her. And that's that's what you need during the summer. Someone that you're just like, I just freaking love you.
Yep. I just want to pat your little head.
Yeah.
Pat your little head. Poop you on the nose.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's good.
Give it to me. Give me your last one.
Okay, for my final one, it is technically like a duology, is what I'm going to call this. Every
always
summer
do
after. I know.
You always go, oh, we're going to do one book, and then you give us a series.
Because I say, can we do 5? And you go, I got 3. And so I got to squish them together, man. When you've read over 100 books in a year, it's too hard. I'm not decision oriented, okay?
Fine, I'll allow it. Okay.
And these are little books. These are baby books. They're small.
All right. As long as they're small books, they equal one book.
Yeah. Yeah, they're little.
That's what you want in a summer read. You want quick hitting.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Smart man.
Quick little reads. Every summer after is a dual POV where basically the main girl grew up next to these two brothers. And two of the two were thick as thieves. This is basically, this book alone, not the second, but the first, is kind of the entire trilogy of The Summer I Turned Pretty, but for adults.
Oh,
so it's like, it's two friends, it's two families that are really close and friends. She falls for one of them. Things happen, and the funny thing is like, actually, I mean, it's not funny, but like, one of the moms dies, which is fun. It's the same as Summer I Turned Pretty. So, I mean, they're very similar books, but this is like,
yeah, you're right.
This is the adult version of it. Yeah. And so, like, they have basically like 6 summers together of like being together. And then I think it's been a decade almost of them completely not talking. And so then you come into this at the funeral and they're like reconnecting and everything too. So like, it's really heartfelt, and like, because it kind of gives that like air of Summer I Turned Pretty, I feel like that kind of gives it a little bit of an edge for me, just because I love that series. I almost picked that series, but just because like, it's a lake house, it's two families running around together, and it's like, it's absolutely perfect, but then they're adults still, which I think kind of gives it just that little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Where the second one then follows the brother. and how he's now an actual, like, he's an adult. This takes place, I think, even further past another, like, the ending of this book. This is, like, the characters in this book are now, like, married and, like, full on together and whatever. And so, like, in this book, you find him really find himself, and he was the one in the first book that was kind of the, like, goofball, the standoff, the, like, whatever kind of flirt of everything. And so now he gets to find his love in this one. And it's so heartwarming. The female main character in this moves to her grandma's house to help take care of her. But, like, the grandma's still at that age where she just kind of needs somebody for a little bit, not really, like, full help. So she's this sassy grandma, and, like, I have never loved a sassy grandma more than in this book. She's so funny. And then she gets the whole town of Barry's Bay in with this and everything, and it's amazing. And I will say, part of the reason I picked this is because this summer will be released as a, I think, Prime TV show.
Oh, that's great.
So, gonna get another little summer TV show to watch. I love these two, and they're like I said, very quick reads. The covers just scream beach.
Yeah.
They're great, fantastic.
That's awesome. I love those.
Yeah,
great picks. Absolutely great picks. Okay, so well, thank you. That's so nice. So to recap, top 3 books of the summer for me is going to be One for the Money by Janet Ivanovich, The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbach, and Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Marr. It's a nice little grouping of 3 pretty different books, but I think sitting by the pool you're really gonna like. Give me a recap of yours, Lauren.
Absolutely. We got Abby Jimenez, Just for the Summer. We got One Italian Summer. One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serrell. And then my little duology, Every Summer After, and One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune.
So,
a lot more romance.
Ready. Yeah.
But very, very, very pool-coded.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, get ready for the summer with those reads, and get ready for good books, bad ratings right after this. Welcome back to Chit Chat and Chapters. It's good books, bad reviews, and we've decided to go down the Taylor Jenkins Reid verse for this. So we talked earlier about how we think that Taylor Jenkins Reid is one of those authors that, like, just really knows how to put words together. It's another level of writing than some other very good writers. She's like that next step above. And so the fact that we've got 2 books by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and there's a lot of 1 and 2 star reviews on them. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. And so especially Lauren, because both the books we picked are over 4-star total rating on Goodread.
That's pretty wild. So, Lauren, which book of hers did you pick?
I went with Atmosphere, her most recent release. I read it right after or before. I think I read it right before Project Hail Mary. Very space theme. Back in, I think, November. But yeah, we went with Atmosphere for this one. What about you?
I went with Daisy Jones and the Six. Just recently finished it and loved it. Easy 5-star read for me, especially like the audiobook. Holy cow. Just incredible. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I guess I should say, I rated Atmosphere 5 stars too, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. This, like, legitimately, this book changed the way I think about, like, some books. Like, it set itself apart in such an incredible way of this, like, documentary style. Blown away by it.
Wait, is this your first Taylor Jenkins Reid? Okay, so, like, when we started the podcast, I was talking about the favorites, about how it was supposed to be like that, and it just really fell flat for me. Like, it was like a 1-star read for me, because it fell so flat on trying to be like Daisy Jones and the Six. And that's the other thing, is I think that, like, that interview style is really hard to write also. So not only does she write beautiful words in general, but then she, like, also writes beautiful interview style, which is a whole other type of writing that she does so well. So well.
Yeah. 100%. And you talked about how Atmosphere, like, another, like, game-changing book for you.
I sobbed within the first, I think, 3 pages, and then I sobbed every, like, couple chapters. Yeah, it was the one where Ben literally kept coming up to me and going, "Are you do we need to put the book down? Do we need to go are you okay? Because I was a mess, man. It was so bad. Ben was like, I don't think reading should be doing this. And I'm like, it's just so beautiful.
Like, this is exactly what reading should be doing.
Yeah. You're not reading right.
Alrighty. Do you want to get us started?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start with just my little silly goofy ones. I do have one that I want to bring up just because I think it's some really good discourse. Okay. But right off the bat, we got a 2-star that is American space, astronaut, Soviet, cosmonaut. But Joan, pure stupid not. Title earned.
Oh no.
And then just it is really funny, but also like categorically untrue. She's so intelligent. Like that's part of the whole thing is she's like not great with people because she's so smart.
Yeah.
So and she is an astronaut. She is an American space person. She is an astronaut. Like that's the title she earned.
Yeah. Get out of here. That's funny. I'll start with a little one that is funny as well. So Barry Pierce gave this book 2 stars and said, Taylor Jenkins Reid literally has the most boring imagination. Girl, how do you write a book about rockers in the 70s and make them all so unbelievably bland? What?
I'm gonna say it, Austin. Did we read the same book?
Now, listen, don't you start with me. Don't you start with me. Because that's every single... I read through hundreds of these reviews, and I would say that 90% of them say exactly that, and I'm over it. Let's be more creative, okay?
That's so funny. Yeah, no, I can't stand that. Did we read the same book? Yes, actually, fun fact, we did, because that's what happens when people publish a book. Be more creative in your, like, give me reasons.
No, 100%. We did read the same book, and how about you just tell me what you don't like about it? Like,
right. But also, saying any of those characters are bland is what? What?
There's no way. There's no way you can say any of those
Not
characters.
even the interviewer was bland.
Yeah! Like, the only one that I can think of is, like, maybe the drummer. Like, he just wasn't a part of it a whole lot. Like, he just
wasn't a part of it.
That's like, but the main characters are so deep.
Yeah.
I listen. Some people are going to take things at face value.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I have to be okay with that. But I don't have to be friends
with you. But also, people literally think these characters are so deep that they have literally related them to Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. Like, and she's come out and said, no, like, that was not the intention. But she wrote characters that are so well-formed and deep and dynamic that people literally think they're real people. Like,
yeah. Exactly. So, goodness. All right.
Great.
We'll give me another one for you.
Yep. Next. Joan loves her niece, Frances. Joan loves space. Joan's sister Barbara is a selfish bitch. Joan loves space. Humble Joan, smart Joan. Joan loves space. Joan loves Vanessa. Space is God. Joan loves space. Barbara is a bitch. Joan is lukewarm on space, actually. Joan loves Earth. There you go. You read the book. You're welcome. I love you. I can't wait to talk shit about Barbara at book club. That is true. None of that is a lie. None of that is a fabrication or an exaggeration. But it's so good.
That's a beautiful review. That's a beautiful review.
Just chef's kiss. Truly chef's kiss. Because
it's just someone who doesn't like the book, but like got
it. Yeah, no, that book was just actually not for them. And that's totally fine. I don't understand that, but it's fine. But, like, also thank you for writing a review that, like, lets me know that you're not insulting the book. You just didn't care for it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what got me, is I'm like, I can tell you're not dissing me for like, because once you get into bad reviews, so many of them start to be like, you're dumb if you like this book. And it's like, well, no, you're dumb because you don't understand it, but whatever. Where
Yeah.
this person is literally just like, it wasn't for me, but like, here's a silly, goofy time that I had reading it. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with
Absolutely
you.
iconic.
That's
So good.
Angelica did not act in that way. And started off, have you ever felt like there were two versions of a book out there? There's the version everyone you know reads, and the one with the raving reviews, the one that everyone loved. Then there's the version that you read.
I will give her a bonus point for the creativity in saying that. She didn't just say, did we read the same book? She said it so eloquently.
She did. So, she goes on to say, I was hoping beyond all hope that this would be my first 5-star book of 2019. Yeah, that's right. It's officially April, the 4th month of the year, and I have yet to read a book that blows me away. And with all the hype around this one, I was really hoping this would be it. It was not. I already want to say, this is a you problem. You're not in the right headspace.
Angela feels like a bit of a picky person.
Yeah. Yeah, like she goes on to say, like, maybe I just suck, maybe I'm heartless, maybe I don't understand what the cool kids are into, but
if the shoe fits.
Mm-hmm. First of all, these characters, I dislike them all. They're all actually assholes.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever watched a documentary about a band? Everybody sucks.
Right. Yeah.
Daisy was a total brat. Yeah.
She was.
That's the point.
That's the point.
Like, you run so hard into the point, yet you miss it. Like,
100%. Mm-hmm.
I can't get this for you is my biggest thing. And it's like, you took the time to write a long review and trash this book, and you came so close. Like, you came so close and got it so wrong. So, sorry, Angelica. You suck. Sorry.
Can you imagine being an author and reading reviews like that? Like, it'd be one thing to, like, if I were an author, I would not read reviews. I know that about myself. But, like, if you stumble upon ones like that, where you're like, I can't be mad at this because that's the point. Like, congratulations, you understood the book.
Yeah. Yeah. That's... It's so hard, because it's like, again, you're right, but also, you are so wrong. You're so off base.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be technically correct and also not fun at parties.
Correct. Yeah, and also not fun at parties.
Alrighty. You got one more?
Yep. Okay, so this one's a little bit more like, I think it's going to be a little bit more of a discussion between the two of us. So,
Okay.
Simo says, Taylor Jenkins Reid has somehow managed to write a book that is boring as hell. Didn't think it was possible, yet here we are. Part of the problem might be that I'm in a massive reading slump and nothing seems to hold my attention. So she did preface this. Mm-hmm. But she said, I expected a great and epic space story and got not that. The characters here are easily the weakest Reid has presented so far. The plot felt loose and bland, and the social commentary was surface level at best. Then again, Reid's books rarely dig too deep into real issues, so I probably shouldn't have been surprised. Also, somehow I missed the tiny "a love story" on the cover, so to my great displeasure, I ended up reading a sort of romance without my consent. Meh, it was fine, but nothing more.
What?
We're literally talking about astronauts. We're talking about the second group of female astronauts ever. And that's not politically enough for you? And then to say that the characters aren't deep when literally all of them have like full family backstories. That's why it's a dual timeline, is because you're learning about these characters. And like, I genuinely believe, so I don't think it says it, because a lot of times if a character actually is, they'll give you like a whatever trigger warning type thing or like a whatever. But like
Sure.
Joan is on the spectrum. There's no doubt in my mind. And
Yeah.
I think the people that think that she's a boring character don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
to
think
say
you're
that
right.
like these characters fall flat and that Taylor Jenkins Reid never writes a deep character,
So wrong. So
that's
wrong.
categorically untrue.
Yeah, that's really it's so like wow. That review is almost heartbreaking.
Right. Like I feel
But
bad that they're not experiencing the same like
that
what
same
it
feeling
is.
and like the
Yeah.
the journey that you go on in that book is so deep and and I think the part that makes it even more emotional is seeing someone who isn't as emotionally intelligent, I think is the right way to say it, who is someone who is incredibly intelligent but isn't as emotionally intelligent going through some of these things.
Yeah.
That's a lot. and
Yeah.
and for someone to not get that, and like the thing about being forced a romance when I didn't sign up for one, like
That's on you, bro.
that's
You
on
didn't
you.
pay it. Yeah. I think I'm starting to wonder if maybe Taylor Jenkins Reid is so good at writing such realistic characters that are not over dramatized at all. I mean,
Mhm.
even in Daisy Jones, the rock stars are rock stars. They be rock starring,
Yeah,
but they're not like bigger than life, whatever, Same with
yeah.
Atmosphere. All the people in them are very real. And I'm
Mhm.
starting to wonder if maybe sometimes the negative reviews come from people that expect their characters in books to not be real.
Ooh, whoa, what an interesting idea. This idea that realism is bad.
Because, like, Taylor Jenkins Reid is never going to write an oh honey character.
No. I mean, quite honestly, Daisy Jones is as close as you get to that.
And even then, she has so much baggage and depth
Mhm.
and, like, whatever. But that's because when she's a real person, like, you understand every bit of, like, that she
Yeah.
goes through in a very real light.
Yeah. Wow. No, that is a really interesting idea that realism is too much for people, that they're trying to escape. And so the idea of, yeah, wow, that's
And
interesting.
I
I
think
think
and I
you're
think the
spot on.
negative reviews and I think the negative reviews come from people that don't realize that yet. That don't know that that's what they want.
I think you're spot on. I think you're 100% right. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay, I've got one that is kind of in the same vein of interesting. Feyruz commented this 2-star review. Honestly, I don't even know how to rate this book because my expectations were in the sky and the book said LOL no. I feel so betrayed. This was not the rock and roll glam I was promised. This was a bunch of drug addicts, cheaters, and the most insufferable cast of characters I've ever read in a book that's apparently beloved by the masses. No hate to anyone who vibed with this, but also, what was this? Cheating is a hard limit for me. The guy or Billy had a whole wife and was still emotionally frolicking around with Daisy while poor Camilla was raising 3 kids and being a literal saint. Camilla deserved the world and instead she got Billy. Let that sink in. Um, Daisy was just bratty, entitled, chaotic in the worst way. Billy was a selfish mess. Karen, Pete, and Rod were tolerable. The rest, straight to the DNF bin in hell. And it's a book about a cheater.
Yeah.
And so like
And it is sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And the fact that it is advertised as the glamour of it and then you don't get that is so the point. Like, I don't want to keep saying that it's the point of it, but like
yeah,
that's the poetic part is that you read this and you're like, rock and roll, hell yeah. All full cast audiobook. Hell
yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna go read about these and then you're like, oh. And again, you made the comment earlier, like, have you ever watched a music documentary? And that's just that's what it feels like. Is like you're probably a reader that doesn't consume much else, and therefore, you know, maybe you only listen to pop, current music, you know, maybe
Sure.
you listen to like only country, where that world doesn't exist as much. But like, there has to be some type of huge disconnect to not understand that rock stars be rock starring. And
I think that,
that was a super prevalent thing. It's a historic
yeah.
piece.
And I think that the thing to think about is like when you go deep into like music documentaries, every single one is a tragedy. Every
Yep.
single like there are hardly any documentaries about music that aren't, this guy was addicted to drugs, and even though he did, this song came out of it, or these people cheated on their wives, but they were singing about love that was tied to their wives anyway. Like, it is a tragedy. It is a tragedy. Music is
Isn't that the
inherently
whole
tragic.
isn't that the whole thing with the Taylor Swift doc that just came out? Is like a whole bunch of stuff came out about that, and then like even that isn't all sunshines and rainbows. Like
Exactly.
current music still, I think, maybe has gotten a little bit better because there's more protections around artists,
Uh-huh.
but it's still very much is like you said, music's a dark industry. Like it's hard. It's a rough place to be.
Yeah, especially back in the 70s. Especially,
Yeah.
and especially for women, and especially like all of these sort of things. And so to read a historical fiction that just is the thing that it is, and to dislike it for those things doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so I totally respect the idea of cheating as a non-starter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheating's
If
bad.
that's a hard line for you, then I totally understand that.
But also, this book doesn't say cheating is good.
No. It doesn't even glamorize it, honestly.
Not even a little bit. Not
It does
even.
a great job of not glamorizing it compared to a lot of cheating tropes that exist in books.
Absolutely. So I disagree with this comment or this review, just because on the premise of this book is those things wholeheartedly. And I get it. And I get that, and it hits home for me in a certain way. For someone who, like, if I even read about someone doing a drug, I'm out. Yeah, you're not going to like this book.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Yeah.
the
I
reason
mean,
why
that's part of it.
but the reason why I go to the 2 stars is because clearly this person knows that Taylor Jenkins Reid is a good writer.
Yes.
Like, clearly they couldn't go all the way to a 1 star.
Yep.
So I think that tells a bit of, like, this is not for this person, but damn, is it written well.
Yep. And that's I think the kind of like good resting place is that, you know what, you respect the writer because, again, as we've kind of prefaced today, in general, is just she writes like nobody else. And you
Absolutely.
got to respect that.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Well, Lauren, that's going to do it for this episode of Chit and Chat and Chapters. Lauren, where can people find you on the interwebs?
I am all over the interwebs. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I'm on Fable, Goodreads, all the fun things. If you see my little profile picture, you know you have found me.
And I am at Radio Guy Austin on social media that I may or may not use. But yeah, this was a good. Welcome back episode.
Welcome back episode.
Good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to rate, subscribe, 5 stars, the whole 9 yards, and follow us on social media at Chit Chat and Chapters on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next time. Keep on reading.